Hello, friends. Good evening. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and this is Cosmic Connections for Wednesday. And we're going to be talking about the new moon that takes place next Tuesday. Yay! We're completing a cycle that began, I would say, August 23rd. We're completing a cycle. We're starting a new cycle. We're heading for balance. We're heading for peace. We're heading for a sense of new beginnings by Tuesday of next week. So we're going to talk about the new moon chart, and we're going to talk about this rocky, rolly, difficult, challenging, enlightening 2 cycles. We had 2 cycles this year in Virgo. And so I know a lot of people have been very stressed, very challenged in the past 8 weeks. And so it's time to get into our balance. That's the keynote for today and moving forward. Hi, Anne-Marie. Hi, Carol. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Sorry, was running a little late. I wanted to add the chart of a beloved actress who passed away. And I don't know about you, but it really did hit me, and I didn't have time to, you can look it up online, but let me tell you a little bit about Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton basically embodied, in everything we've been reading, right, about her life, a little kooky, but very friendly, a humanitarian. All right, guess what her moon sign is? Do, 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 do. Kooky. And she actually, in one of her videos, I'm not insulting the woman at all. I loved her. I loved her movies. I loved her persona. But she wore this big hat that says kook. Well, anyway, kooky, humanitarian, very friendly, very sweet. One person reported that when she was doing an exercise class, Diane Keaton would come up and address the person by name and thank I think it was the fitness instructor by name. And she was very touched by that because, she's a big, iconic Hollywood star, but she never appeared that way. All right. Anyone want to take a guess? Aquarius moon, right? Aquarius moon. That's her. Hi, Patricia, Jerry, Cynthia. Thanks for being here. Yes, of course you'll get a reading. And everyone's just drawn randomly, Anne. Good evening, Joanne and Donna. Thanks for being here. Hello there, Sam. So great to see you. So the point is, Aquarius is that sign of I just described. That was her personality. So the moon sign is often our personality. She embodied that approachable sense of lover of humanity, agape love. And she was also a Capricorn, very successful. And she started out very mature. She had some very heavy roles. She had great comedic timing. And guess what her rising sign was? I would have guessed this right off the bat, but she was very magnetic and she had a Scorpio rising sign. So you can look that up and maybe I don't know, put it up on my website or something or on Facebook. Well, in any case, rest in peace, Diane Keaton. I was a big fan. Maybe some of you were, some of you might not have realized what a big star she was back in the 90s and the 80s, and also an incredible humanitarian. Well, this is the peace time of the year, friends. And the other huge story is what's been happening and has happened as of October 9th with the peace agreement. Depending on what news article you read, it's called a ceasefire or a peace agreement. And there's a lot of controversy about giving credit where credit is due. But I'm just going to quote President Obama, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, when I say, congratulations, President Trump, job well done. He certainly was the person who spearheaded everything. So I know we're going to hold our breath, but I have a chart for the actual signing in Egypt. So let's get to work. We have a lot of things to cover tonight, friends. All right. So this was the peace agreement and the Sabian symbol of what I mentioned last week and the week before of the Eris Chiron conjunction. Let me refresh your memory. I was talking about this for the past couple of months. Many other astrologers have been talking about it as well. Eris is the jealous, vengeful, revengeful goddess who was jealous because Aphrodite was deemed prettier than her, and she threw the golden ball into the wedding and disrupted everybody. She's the energy planet X, way out there, 500-year orbit, Eris, Eris, of strife and rage and jealousy. Well, that outer planet, has been conjunct the asteroid Chiron for some time. The day it was signed, this agreement, the peace agreement, whatever you want to frame it as, in Egypt, was when these two bodies were perfected, not just by degrees, but by seconds and minutes. So it's pretty amazing. And so my interpretation of this is that we have to heal violence now. We have to heal now. That's the blending of Eris conjunct Chiron. So I just want to point that out to you. And also the Sabian symbol of this particular 25 degree of Aries energy, it's called Follow the Trail of His Light. Again, Sabian symbols are a passion. If you've been checking out my Facebook, I've been doing a Sabian symbol for every day because I think they're very relevant as a guidance for us all. And it is this symbol. A man possessed of more gifts than he can hold. This is applying to everyone and everyone's chart where you find 25 degrees of Aries, by the way. It represents laws expressing a new type of order, but there's also a warning implied by this conjunction of these two planets, because it sounds great, right? A man possessed of more gifts than he can hold. And it represents the obsession with potentiality. So you may be finding that in your own life. As of the 9th of October, there's so much to do. I'm overwhelmed. There was so much to do in the Middle East, overwhelmed. So it's an ongoing energy that represents following the light. All right, right now, actually not right this moment, but on Friday, we're in the waning cycle of the moon for the new cycle that began on the 21st of September. We're letting go, friends. We're letting go of things we're going. And it peaks really on this particular Friday before the new moon on Tuesday. And so we want to put our attention where Virgo falls in our chart. And the symbol for that is a boy with a censer. And the censer is, often used in ritual at the altar. Senses are coming out in many traditional Catholic, Greek Orthodox, Roman Catholic services. They'll have incense being burned, and that's the image. And it represents practicing in the presence of God. So what am I saying? They're letting go of practicing the presence of God. I think this is a very spiritual energy that really ignites on Friday until Tuesday. And the idea with the balsamic time of the year, we're trying to let go and let God. That's the interpretation of those dark nights prior to the new moon. We also have the moon square psyche. So you might not be feeling confident in your intuitive ideas or messages. You might not be feeling practically courageous, but they're coming. It's a very psychic time of the month. The moon is sextile Mars. We're kind of revved up to get our emotions expressed, and opportunities to express our true feelings will be there. Meanwhile, we have Uranus and Sedna traveling together. Sedna is another kind of chaotic type of outer planet. Uranus means the planet of surprise. They're both trining or supporting Pluto, which ultimately means what? Transformation, change, technology. I even sound like an AI guy, right? Technology, change, unusual. So that's all going on for this weekend. But then the coup de grace is the conscious participation that is suggested by our new moon on Tuesday. And the exact timing of that, because you can't see it on the chart. So the new moon takes place at 8:25 in the morning. That's Eastern Daylight Time. That's when the sun and the moon are kissing in the sky at 28 degrees of Libra. Pacific time is at 5:25 in the morning. And this launches and makes a breakaway from all this Virgo stuff, this discerning that's been taking place since the end of August 23rd. So we're wanting to balance our lives. We really are. We're just wanting to balance. Oh my gosh. Now, the conscious participation degree is worth quoting here. And by the way, the new moon is opposite the Eris and the Chiron conjunction as well. So it's really asking us to consciously participate in a balance of obstacles and what we deem to be our enemies. Things that are people, I'm sorry, not things, maybe we're not talking things here, we're talking people who seemingly are opposing us, and to try to work our own peace accords with the people in our lives, right? I think that's what this new moon is saying. Forget about holding a grudge because your mother, your father, your boss, you get the drift. Let it go, and consciously participate in this opportunistic, beautiful new moon. And I'll read it here. Mankind's vast and enduring effort to reach for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. There's an old saying or old sense of participation that as we live our lives well, our ancestors are receiving our spiritual unfoldment and our authenticity. We can heal the past, even the past of our ancestry, by healing ourselves. That's what this degree implies to me. It means conscious participation. I love the way 1920s lingo, so I have to quote this. This is the ability that asks us to transcend instinct and biology and turn to conscious choice, will, and self-sacrifice for the sake of future and previous generations. It reminds me of the Native Americans' 7-generation idea that, we're stewards of not just the land, but of consciousness. And speaking of consciousness, this new moon is right next to an asteroid called literally Angel. Yep, there's an asteroid out there called Angel. So we have an angelic type of feeling next week that's asking us, please, let's go to the higher and better side of each other and for ourselves and for future generations. So there is our new moon. And then we have something, of course, a little nefarious. Always, there's always yin and yang with every moment of everyone's lives, right? So we've got Mars, Black Moon, Lilith, and Mercury all lined up here in Scorpio. There's more to anything that meets the eye, friends. That's what this new moon is suggesting. So do your digging, do your due diligence. Don't take anyone's word for anything. Do your research. Do your Scorpio thing. Be a spiritual detective. Use discernment. So we're not quite sure what's really going on, but at least at the new moon, Eris and Chiron were exact when the peace accord was being signed on October 9th. It's beginning to separate. So we've learned something in the past week in our own lives, in the outer life, the outer narrative, and it's asking us to keep that idea of insistence on healing conflict now. So let's take a look at how this rolls for each of you. Oh, isn't that cool naming? Angel for an asteroid, right? Hi, Barb. Hi, Julia. Hello. Guess who I get to hang out with, Julia, in a couple of weeks? Another agent. I was thinking we should talk. Yeah. Beautiful tarot. Okay. Hi, Mary. Hi, Laura. Hi, Gail, Debbie. Hello, Donna. Hi, Kathy D, Candy. and everyone else. If I don't see your name, it's because it doesn't come up on this platform. I'm on different platforms, friends. A big reminder to you, by the way, we are coming to you via different platforms on Facebook and elsewhere. But please, if you are not a member yet of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, a simple email will do to receive their timely Time Lords publications. Fabulous information from astrologers across the planet who are dedicated and devoted to helping us all grow and change through this beautiful language. So, CIA, I love saying I'm a CIA agent, which I am, 56. Let's go into the nuggets for the upcoming new moon. Again, use your solar return chart or your solar chart or your rising sign, if you know it. For Aries or Aries rising, of course, this energy is activating partnership and friendship, your BFFs. So it's a conscious participation, Aries, in becoming a better partner. And if you are feeling partnerless, look around to all the wonderful people in your life who are your BFFs. In other words, the idea here is to become more aware of the way you do the dance of relationship. And there's a new beginning regarding that dance. For Taurus or Taurus rising, the new moon is activating your ability to become healthier. Healthier how? Through habits, through routines, we all know what we're supposed to do, right? Like eat better and sleep better and all that. But Taurus, if you've been lagging in that department, you can put your foot down and say, as of Tuesday, I'm going to become a lot stronger and healthier through my routines. Actually talk to you. This is a little easier. If you're Gemini or Gemini rising, the new moon is asking you to come out and play and to have fun and to activate your creative muse inside. If you have kids in your life, spend more time with them. It's also a fantastic time for romance and play and just activating your joy centers. For Cancer or Cancer rising, this is the best time for you to do due diligence within your home. Maybe do a deep cleaning, a rearranging, redecorating, and on a relationship level, make peace with those family members. For our Leo or Leo rising, you're getting your time management skills being activated in the next new moon cycle. You're saying to yourself, you know what? It's time for me to become more present when I communicate and clear out the clutter and organize all that paperwork. If you're a communicator, a writer, it's a great time as well. For our, I said that was Leo. Now, Virgo, it's a very, very great time for you to do anything regarding your self-esteem, your income, your ability to make money, to turn a hobby into a income stream or something along these lines. But give yourself a pat on the back, Virgo, as we're moving forward. Now, all eyes are on Libra. Where you find Libra, it's like a second birthday when the new moon occurs. You can celebrate the Libra part of your chart. And if your birthday falls on the new moon, wow, that's a very significant solar return chart. You want to take a look at that. So Libra is coming into their sense of charisma, confidence, and can blaze a new trail. That's the idea. New moon, new Libra. For Scorpio, time for rest, relaxation, and retreat during this time of the year. Even though the sun is going to be in Scorpio, we like to honor the new moon lunations. So this is one of those times, one of those years when we have a late new moon. So I don't really confuse the issue here, but the new moon is in a particular sign, and the Scorpios might not feel like they're caught up with things. So it's okay. Give yourself a break, Scorpio. Rest a little bit until we have the new moon in Scorpio, which is our next new moon. Sagittarius, it's the time for you to be social, to connect with people, connect with your groups, connect with your peeps, make some social arrangements and have some fun. For Capricorn, this new moon is activating your career, your sense of service, your sense of authority, and your sense of leadership. For Aquarius, it's a great time for you to think about expanding your world, maybe through travel, maybe through learning something new, join the CIA, do something fun for yourself that's expanding your horizons. And last but never least, our beautiful Pisces. This time of the year, you're really activating your power centers, your psychological, mediumistic, and financial power. It's time for you to step into your sense of it's all going to be all right, and trust and activate some additional power activities, whether it be financial, psychic, spiritual, or, physical as well. All right, friends, let's do some spiritual work. And how that works is, if you're new, I know a lot of you know this. I just close my eyes, say a little prayer, and I randomly select a name that's coming to me from somewhere on this platform. So, dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love, light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest and for the best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm with Mirsa. Hello, Mirsa K. Tomek. Am I saying your name correctly? Miss Mirsa Kovacevic. Kovacevic. Can you see I have some lag in my pronunciations? Just say yay or nay, Mirsa, please, and I'll be able to give you a little read here. Okay. Mirsa. Just say yes. Make sure you're right here. I'll just wait for a second. So you made the first, Mirsa made a comment a little while ago. I think you're still here. Okay, I'm going to pick another person. And Mirsa, please just say yes. I just have to have permission. And I'm also with Carol Monty now. Carol says she's asked, and so I'm sure you're still with us, Carol. And so as I'm tuning into your energy tonight, the first thing I'm impressed with is your ability to organize a lot of chaos. I'm not sure if you do that professionally as an assistant to someone in an operation, whether it be a volunteer or a career setting, but you're very, very good at literally taking chaos, like going into someone's home and saying, let's put this there, let's put that there. But you feel a little guilty because you're not always on top of things in your own environment or in your own home. And there's a mother and a grandmother who are coming in to remind you that work is never done if it's housework. Because I think it wasn't your mother, it was your grandmother who had that trait of wanting to get things all organized all the time. And she was very good at it. It sounds like a mundane message, but it's not, because I feel that you've been criticizing yourself for your lack of follow through within your own environment. I have a friend that I love to pieces, and she has a sign in her kitchen and it says, forget the mess, I'm out busy saving the world. So that's what I'm handing you, that message. You are always consciously participating in your world. You lose track of helping others, and sometimes that shows, and you feel some recrimination with yourself. And this grandmother figure in particular is saying, please don't do that. Please be more gentle with yourself. I'm also getting okay. It's an SH name in spirit. I'm not really great with names, but it's Sheila or Sharon is wanting to say hello to you. And that's true. Okay, thanks for that confirmation, Carol. Sheila, Sharon, or Sherry. But I'm just going to leave you this name. And this was someone you didn't even know had passed. It's someone from your childhood that you learned about post hence. And she's coming in with a lot of love because she remembers you back when you guys were children and you hung out together, and you were always the kind one, the fun one, and the silly one. And I'll leave that with many blessings. Sharon. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, Carol, thanks for being here tonight. We're going to do another read. I am with Jerry Duffy. Hi, Jerry. I just read your message that your name came up. Okay. Rest in peace to your brother. Okay. All right. Ooh, boy, I feel like he's wanting to communicate to you like right now, right here, because first of all, he's coming in with a lot of apologies because he gave you a run for your money. He's saying that sometimes he was just grumpy, but you were always so kind because he didn't want to go to see doctors. He didn't want to do this. You would make suggestions, and he was in his own little world. That's what he's saying. He was his own little world, and Sis was always kind of, running the. I want to use the word. You were his cheerleader. You all of your life, and he's so grateful to you. He's so grateful to you because now that he's on the other side of life, this man is so relieved and happy because he had he's showing me this zigzag, like he would try something and then it wouldn't go through. Try something else, it wouldn't go through. And he's saying he learned a lot of patience. I mean, he really did. He learned a lot of patience, but he didn't show patience to you. He's coming in with a lot of love. He's coming in with a lot of support. And if you haven't had an experience of him at twilight hours before you wake up fully, I think you already have, Jerry. But if you haven't, I feel that he'll be able to come through for you, perhaps this weekend. And so my condolences to you. He loves you. He's grateful to you. You did a great job, and he's sorry that he was sometimes obstinate is the word he's using. So many blessings to you, Jerry. I hope that makes sense. Okay, thank you for the feedback. All right, that's what I was picking up. All right, dear friends, I would love to give you all messages, but our time is, boy, I'm pretty good at this. I keep it right to half an hour. You can always book a reading with me. That's what I do. And I use the astrology. I use the Sabian symbols. I use lots of intuition as well. A couple of noteworthy notes. Ghost walks on Friday night if you're in the Western New York area at 6:30. We have 3 more left, 3 Fridays, and everyone will get a message, a spiritual message, short like I do, here. And all the details are on my website. And check out the CIA. And I'm going to be doing some classes in the Sabian symbol realm at the next new moon. So I'm sorry, at the next full moon. Anyway, it's on my website, but just join my email letter, so I'll let you know when these mastery classes are. I really appreciate you being here tonight and every Wednesday. God bless and have a great week.